Oh, hello guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. So great. Full moon. Beautiful. I just would like you to know that I experienced it yet again um, in full capacity as it moved across the sky last night. I think, let's see, 5 times I got to get up. Blessed be with my little puppy. I'm patiently waiting like a newborn child for him to sleep longer and get up less. But, he is the size of a teacup. So when your bladder is that small, I guess you got to go to the bathroom like 12 times a night. So, anyways, we just go with it. It's my fault. I was the one that bought the dog. Taking on full responsibility for having this puppy. And I'm totally enjoying getting up at night and enjoying that fresh, crisp air, the beautiful moonlight, surrounded by my animals sleeping, and the neighbor's dog continuously barking. It's just fantastic. Don't be a jerk too. Don't do what my neighbor's done. They have this like gigantic shed and they put the dog on the back side of it, so on our side, so that they can't hear it from their house when it barks, but we can hear it from our house. I did make a post, this inspirational quote this morning. Don't be an ass. Oh, I'm just saying. Okay. So moving right along, wow, it's May 26th. I don't really know. Just time just doesn't seem to be meaning anything to me right now. I'm trying really hard not to pay attention to the date because I don't want to be on like countdown for the rest of my life. I keep telling myself that I won't be carless until September, but I'm just like feeling that it's potentially possible. So I'm still bumming rides off everyone. The other day I had my coworker bring me home and I was like, man, this is kind of like high school. Like, hey, Katie, can you give me a ride home, girl? So I have a backpack that I take to work. So I literally felt like we were coming home from high school as she was dropping me off and I was grabbing my backpack. And, I don't know about you, but when I was in high school, we used to like basically spend the entire day together. And then when I got home from school, I would get on the phone with my friend and then we would talk for like hours. And I remember so kids back in the day when we had landlines is what they were called, you could get this cool thing where if you were talking on the phone and someone else tried to call, it would beep. And so then you could hit a button and it would allow you to switch over to the other person. So before we had that beautiful technology, my mom used to get so pissed because she would try to call and the phone would be busy. So you get like a busy signal. I know a lot of people don't know what that is either. But you would get a busy signal when you tried to call someone and they were on the phone. So my parents would be livid because that's all I did was talk on the phone. So, whatever. I don't want to go back to my high school days whatsoever. My 17-year-old, he is a junior, and so he is finishing up school right now. It's the last week of school for my kids. So no masks this week. Which is kind of interesting. I'm sure it's weird for them to see everyone's faces. I'm sure it's weird for the teachers to really see the faces of all their kids suddenly. Especially where Tayson's like in kindergarten. It's got to be like just a magnificent thing to be able to talk and have them see, the teacher's face. But they made it, they did it. They're little survivors. That'll probably be something that they can talk about, to their grandkids. Like, I remember when I survived the pandemic. Unfortunately, at my workplace, we're still wearing masks, so that's really great. I'm really over it. What are you going to do? So I don't know, guys. Are you ready for the summer? I feel like I'm ready. I owned 6 swimsuits that I realized. So I'm going to buy a season pass to a water park. And so that's how I justified that I needed 6 swimsuits. Before this, I didn't own a swimsuit. And then suddenly I started buying swimsuits. And I think just because I have lost so much weight, I was like, wow, I don't feel like an elephant in a swimsuit. So maybe I need 6 of them because I wanted one of every color and, whatever. So I kind of went with it. So that should be fun. Taking Tayson to the water park. Basically, I don't know what else we're going to do. We're going to play baseball. Tayson's going to play baseball, which is stressing me out because it starts in June and I still don't have any idea when the practice days are or the games. So is what happens is then I fill my entire schedule up with sessions and then I have to move everyone and it's a complete nightmare. I don't know if other parents just don't have to do things or the people making the schedules just don't care. I don't really know. It's incredibly frustrating to me, but I'm trying not to get right when we have little things like this, just let it go. It's not worth it. Don't let that sit on your soul. Don't let it make you stressed out. Hi, Maurice. Hello. Happy hump day. Hope that you're going to have a fantastic day today. So basically, I think that's what we're going to do. And then, before you know it, you'll blink and then it will be time for school to start again. And off we'll go. It was kind of scary though, because we had 2 little girls that were missing in town like last week. And they go to the school that I just enrolled Tayson in. So I was like, oh, that's comforting. Of course, I was like praying that, kids get lost, right? I mean, how many of you went home from school and just got a little distracted, started playing in a creek or something, and then, your mom's like, where have you been? I mean, I was really probably good at that. Or you stop at a friend's house and you just don't think about it at that age that like, hey, people probably wondering where we are and then you forget and then time goes by. So luckily, I'm not the type of person that like needs to know where they were, which drives me crazy when I see this on Facebook posts. So of course we are sharing it everywhere, their pictures, so that, if anyone knew where they were, they could be like, oh yeah, I saw them, at the gas station or whatever. So I always love this because suddenly, the city and the police department announced, hey, they're safe, they've been found. That's all I need to know. Okay, super great. They were safe and they were found. Beautiful. And then you see all these people be like, so where were they? What happened? And I'm like, what the hell do you need to know that for? You don't. Like, get out of everybody else's business. You don't need to do that. People that do that drive me absolutely nutty. You don't really need to know what happened. You don't need to pry because then what? Then what happens? Then somebody says, and then you're going to start like belittling the parents. Well, the mother should have blah, 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 blah. Right? That's always the saddest thing to me. I don't read Facebook post comments just for that reason, because anytime, seems like here we go into the critical days of summer where we have all these accidents and incidents. And sure, lo and behold, somebody's kid's going to drown or get ran over or something's going to happen, get left in a car. And then it's going to be local and somebody's going to post it and it's going to be devastating. But do we really care about that? No, we just want to get on Facebook and start being jerks and being like, how did the parents let this happen? How do you not know where your kid is? How do you blah, blah, blah? When here's the thing, kids, I can guarantee that at any point in your life, we can find a time when you screwed up and did something stupid. You just got lucky that nothing happened. I mean, hello, honestly, raise your hand if there's never been a time where you're like, ooh, that probably wasn't the best scenario. I thought my kid was with his dad and he wasn't. He was running around outside alone. I don't know. Or, something that pops into my head. I recall a time when Tayson was an infant and we had been somewhere and we were getting ready to leave, but we weren't quite ready to leave. So somebody sat him in his car seat. And then we got really distracted and he wasn't, big enough to wiggle out yet, but we sat him in his car seat, kept doing whatever we were doing and then got ready to go and just picked him up and put him in the little base in the car. And nobody actually had put the harness on him. And so then we get home and we're like, holy crap, no, he wasn't actually buckled into the car seat. We were just carrying him around. So a couple things, right? Car accident, he's not buckled into the car seat. 1, so how stupid do we look because he's in a car seat? And 2, when you take your kiddo out and you're carrying him around, right? If you accidentally tip the car seat a little bit, then out they go. So, hey, we've done that before. I'm not going to pretend like we haven't all made mistakes. Moral of the day, story of the day, guys. Just realize that when you're being critical of other people, you're giving off a negative vibration. And what do we know, right? Anytime we give off negative energy, we are going to, without a doubt, it's not a, oh, maybe, or, oh, it might happen. When you give off negative energy of any kind, you will get some back. Absolute law. It's like trying to defy gravity. You can't. That's just the way that it works. Everything you give out comes back. Another thing, I was like, man, why do people do this? I think women are more prone to do this than men. But here's the other thing that I find. Somebody is really successful and then they, I recently had this happen to myself where like I have a message to a couple of people asking a question or trying to ask them about something specific. And I'm doing it in a very tactful way. I'm not like, hey, do you want to buy something that I'm selling? I'm just like, hey, if you don't mind sharing, I would love to know, blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, I'm really interested in this and like participating in your event, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing is that when people that are successfully doing something, when they are not aligned with themselves internally, they are not willing to share with you how they got to the spot that they've got to. And I hope that I never become that person. I never want to be the person that if someone reaches out to me and is like, hey, how did you build this platform? Or, hey, how did you get to this place that you got to? You know, I may not be like, hey, let me sit down and send you 6 pages of how I got here, but I'm certainly going to respond to you and be like, oh yeah, like, hey, this is a tip that I can give you of, you know, where to start or whatever. You know, if you're going to wear a crown and you're going to be a queen, don't treat other people like they're peasants. You know, here's the other thing, Einstein. People can see when you've read their messages. So you just look like a total tool bag if someone asks you a question and then you just blow them off. So recently had this happen to me where I was like, well, it's okay. You'll talk to me if I'm making you money. But if I want to ask a question to help me along with my journey, you're like, what? You're on a platform that's too high. So you're like, no, I don't share with other people my success. Yeah, okay, that's another way that you're giving off the inability to attract more. If you help people with an open desire to help other people, because we kind of get into this mindset, like if you're into a business, you're like, ooh, I don't want to help other people because then they're going to take away my profits by stealing my customers or taking away my ability to whatever. You guys, the world is gigantic. There are no limits to who the people that you can reach. If you have that thought in your head that you're not going to help other people because then you won't have enough clients, like that's like me being like, I'm not going to help any other energy healing practitioners because then I won't have the clientele because now I'm helping someone else and then I'm not going to have any clients. Every single person in the entire world can use energy healing to benefit. There's no way that me, myself, and I can reach every single person on this planet. So no, I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to share with you because I don't want you to become a successful practitioner because then you might take away from my overall whatever. No, don't do that, right? That's so stupid. So no, yeah, I'll help you. You want to do that work on your own business because me giving you that positive and helping you be your own amazing person comes back to me more than me trying to keep all my clients for myself. You reap back so much more when you serve others and you do it with an open, beautiful heart where you're like, I honestly, genuinely want to try to help other people. I'm all about being transparent and helping someone else. Like I was watching a coach yesterday and I loved it because she was like, I answer personally everybody that messages me. I'm like, heck yes. Like when you message my page, there's no automated bot that's like, hello, I'll get back with you whenever I feel like getting around to it, which might be in 36 days from now. I don't hire somebody to answer my messages. I'm really into like the personalness of it. And I love it when I message someone back and someone's like, oh my gosh, it's actually you. And I'm like, yep, it sure is actually me. But there you go. Okay, guys, I hope you have a beautiful day. Be a beautiful rock star that you are. Don't let people take advantage of you. Don't listen to other people's opinions, especially if they're not paying your paychecks. You just don't need it. And stay away from negativity. Don't be the person giving off the negative. Don't be critical. Don't be gossiping. Don't be whatever. And then bring in the beautiful joy, allow the energy to flow within you, and just don't do shady stuff.